Hello, beautiful spirits. I'm Carol DeChaine, your intuitive spiritual guide for practical matters and Marconics multidimensional energy practitioner. Today, I'm going to be talking about why happiness can be so hard to find sometimes. If you look at your life, do you remember the happy times or mostly the sad times? What does it feel like when you look at the happy times? Can you even remember any? Sometimes we only remember the highs and lows, and the stuff in the middle just sort of all fuzzes together. So, if you're looking at your life, do you have more happiness than sadness? And when you're looking at your life and each section of your life, do you find happiness at your job, at your maybe your family that's there, with your extended family, with where you live, the car you drive? You can find happiness everywhere because happiness is something that you can live with, you can find on your own. Look at what makes you happy, little things, because happiness is hard to find when we chase after it. If we chase happiness, a lot of times we can't find it because we do it from a neediness place. We do it from, I don't have it. Where is the happiness? And so you're depending on other people to give it to you. So you're chasing it. You're going, I don't know how to attract it, so I'm going to chase it. And then you don't have it. It's even harder and harder to find it because you're looking under every little rock and cranny and it's just not there. Instead of standing in your own power and emitting, figuring out what you're grateful for, what you're happy about in your life, you'll start attracting happiness at that point because you'll attract other things to be happy for. And joy is something you create for yourself. It's something that's an inner working between you and your spirit, in my estimation. That's what I always go for. But happiness is something that is usually outwardly, most people look at it as something that you only have it when somebody makes you happy. Because something happens that sparks you and you go, oh, I'm happy. Instead of going, I can wake up happy. I have that choice. I don't have to worry about things. I don't have to be annoyingly complaining all the time about things. Maybe you're not annoying because maybe the other people do too. But look at why you find that happiness might be hard to find. It may just be that you're looking outwardly too much. You're looking outwardly and trying to chase that happiness. Try and see what happens when you kind of find the gratitude and the happiness for what you have that works for you. What is it that you like about your life? And then once you have that gratitude, then look at what makes you happy. What type of things? Maybe it's always when you're outside. Maybe it's always when you're playing with your puppy. Maybe it's always when you're playing with your children. What makes you happy? And sometimes we need that shot in the arm because we can't get there on our own. And that's when you go back to those things. You take that walk and maybe amongst the trees in the park. You take the dog for a walk or play with the dog if the dog is what makes you have some happiness. You go and hang out with your kids and you start building something with them in their room or wherever they are. I know every once in a while my dad would come out and help me build. Um, I made a tent over the swing set, and he would help me with the clothespins to hold up the sheets that my mom let me have. And every once in a while, he'd do that. He wouldn't play dolls with me or anything, but he would help me build it so that I could then be inside and play. And it was always a fun time. And that is a happiness that I had because I was with my dad and I wasn't with him that often. And he was doing something with me that was fun. So many times we have the memories, but we don't create more. Create those happy memories and those happy moments until later when we go, wait, that was really happy. I really had a good time. You can create those happy moments on your own by just finding reasons to be happy, by concentrating on those things instead of on the things that maybe you have to work on, the worrisome stuff. Because if you can concentrate on being happy, even for a short amount of time, without having to have the external happiness things that make your meter go up, try and make your happy meter go up by itself. Try and make it go from 0 to 50 0 out of 0 to 100, and see how far up you can do it all by yourself. Do you feel like you're going negative on the happy meter because maybe it's just not a good time for you? Then take those moments and concentrate and figure out how you can turn that around for yourself. Hopefully, you'll see that happiness is not so hard to find after all, once you take some time to really allow it to percolate through your being and bubble up and out, because then you will, as I said, law of attraction will pull in that happiness more and more for you when other people are feeling your happiness. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm Carol DeChaine, and if you'd like to know more about life coaching with me or Marconic multidimensional energy, you can find that on my website at connect2joy.com. That's connect the number 2 joy.com. And you can also find my podcast if you want a longer version of what I'm doing with more tools at Connect to Joy. And it's not only on my website, but you can find it on most podcast channels. And you can also follow me on Instagram at, you guessed it, Connect to Joy. Until next week, please know that you are already enough to have that joyful, limitless life that you desire.